What's up, YouTube? Welcome to our channel. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Blue.
And we have decided to go ahead and give our YouTube journey a start. This is something that we wanted to do for quite some time now, and I'm just so proud of us for, actually getting started.
And we're super excited to have you guys watching us and joining us on this journey. And we hope that you'll find us as your new YouTubers.
Right. So we have been married we've known each other for about 8 years now, and a lot of our friends come to us and ask us, like, how did we know we were the one? What is something that you guys were looking for when you were dating? So we decided to start this video and just talk about some green flags you should be looking for when you're dating.
So, right off tops, I think before you do your green flags, you need to figure out what you're dating for. What is your purpose or, your intention upon dating? Do you just want to meet somebody, just to have friends, or do you want to, have multiple people that you're dating because you want to see what's out there, or are you looking actually for a wife or a husband, or to be married? What exactly are you looking for? So I think once you set those bounds, then you'll be able to go on to the next step and figure out exactly what green flags should be attracting you. And I would say the very first two for me is trust and loyalty.
Okay.
So those two are huge green flags. When somebody shows that they're trustworthy and that they're loyal, then you know that your relationship, will have those traits within them. And then that's how you start off a healthy relationship. Especially, I would say the top three is trust, loyalty, and communication. So those things are something that you should actively be looking for as a green flag in somebody. How do they communicate with you? How do they build that trust with you? Because as easily as trust is broken, it's also built. It takes time and support. So what are those people doing to bring that to you, so you see that as a green flag in them, that you're already able to say, like, this person, I can trust them with my life. This person, I know they're going to be loyal no matter what.
Right. So for you, dating, you were looking for your wife. Was that your intention when you were dating?
Yes, most definitely. I would say that. My best friend would also say, like, she always jokes and says, like, I was looking for my wife since I was 12 years old.
Right.
But, it was kind of like a thing of where I felt as though I wasn't dating for, just fun. Almost, I would say I was dating for that person. I never actually even dated anybody that I was, didn't see a future with. If I didn't see like we could go long term, there's no reason for us to be in a relationship. At least that's how I feel about it. So I would definitely say I was always dating for, that more.
To go further.
Yeah, exactly. I was never dating just for like short term, like, this is my summer fling. Like, I guess for me, it's kind of like love gets in there. And since I think it's because I'm a love sign, I can't really like separate the two. Yeah, I'm a Libra. So I feel like it's like I can't really separate the two. So yeah, I was looking for a wife. I was looking for that, that commitment, that next level type of love.
I get that. So what did you see in me that showed you like I was loyal?
Okay, so one of the things that you did is, first is like you told the truth. Your honesty was, up there as far as like you always told me what you were doing. Like, not that I asked, but you just offered that information to me. And when I saw that you were actually doing those things and that I could trust you, because I remember that there was a time that, you would tell me, I think the guy tried to hit on you or kiss you or something like that, and you're like, no, I'm in a relationship. But even though you had already told him that I'm dating someone else, you already told me that. So it kind of made me feel more comfortable in our relationship, exactly where we stand, because I know that you are like on the same page that I'm on right now.
So the fact that I was open and willing to share, it didn't seem like I was, trying to hide anything or being shady.
Exactly, 100%, because I think like we all have like, that little instinct where you kind of feel like something's a little off, or, it may be a little bit more to that story. But with you, I've always felt like that it was just very open and truly honest. And I never got that feeling that anything else was different. And it turns out that that was true. And you literally told me like that was one of the things that you know, think about your name, your reputation also as a person, because you don't want to be known as a liar or somebody that is unfaithful or anything like that. So, you know, you don't want no smut on your rep as
Right.
like that.
And I would see that as a green flag as well. Dating someone who not only cares about you, but care about themselves and care about how they're interpreted and how they move throughout the world. Because I chose to not, you know, cheat on you, not solely, like you said, not solely because of you. I do care about your feelings and stuff, but it was also because, like, I don't move around the earth like that. You know, I'm not a liar. I'm not a cheater. So I do think it's a green flag to have someone who's like more in touch with who they are and how they carry themselves.
Yeah, most definitely. And I would say another green flag, it was like super lime green, like that highlighter green, whatever the brightest green you could do was like the reciprocation for me. I have been with people or dated people that the reciprocation just wasn't there. I felt as though like I was giving them a lot more than what I was receiving in return. And it's kind of interesting because in those relationships, maybe you don't recognize that, but when somebody actually comes along and does those things, it's like, wow, like that's a real little, you know, green flag for me. Because, and one of the things that I always remember was like, I know it's like small, but it was big to me. I opened the door for you, the car door, and then you got in. So then I'm walking on the other side, and my door just swings open, and I noticed that you had pushed the door from the inside. So you had opened my door, and it was just like super sweet. I was like, oh, I'm a little gentlewoman. So it was like completely like that was like one thing that like really like got me like, wow, this woman is truly different. And I really like, you know, gravitated towards that. And that was like one of the green flags that you displayed for me.
So reciprocation.
Yeah, reciprocation was a big one for me. Like pretty much for me, like I would say my top big ones are trust, loyalty, communication, and then, you know, reciprocation. And honesty, of course. But I feel like that ties into the trust and the loyalty. Like these things are all interconnected. I think when you have a person that has these multiple different green flags, I think that's, you know, showing a lot about who they are as a person, because you know how they move as far as like their mentality, or, you know, any behavior that they may show, you know, now versus like then when you guys have a further future along, you know?
Yeah.
What would you say some of the green flags are for you?
Well, you named the big ones.
Okay.
So, but I think a sense of humor is a green flag. Someone that knows how to have fun and be funny. Because I'm funny. So I like need someone to, you know, laugh, crack some jokes with me. Remember when we first started dating? We had known each other probably for like, I don't even know if it was a week yet. I don't even think we met each other in person yet. I think we still was like just texting. And then you took like forever to text me back. And then I sent you that SpongeBob gif and it said 2 hours later. And that was me like testing the waters to see like, can she handle my jokes? Does she think it's funny? And you did. You laughed at it.
Yeah, it was like that's one of our major memories in our the start of our relationship was like your humor, as far as like, oh, I was like, she's funny. And just so y'all know, I was asleep. I was knocked out. I was tired. But yeah, it was funny to me. I loved your sense of humor, and I loved like your energy as far as that.
Yeah. For me, another green flag is how your community perceives you. So like your tribe, your family, your friends, like, are you closely connected to your friends and family? Or is it kind of like, you know how some people just have a lot of drama with people and then they just be like, oh, I got a lot of haters. I don't trust nobody. You know, I feel like there's a lot of hurt, a lot of unresolved hurt behind that. And sometimes I feel like the person is problematic if you have an issue with like every single person in your collective. So for me personally, it wouldn't be a deterrent, but it for sure would be something that like would be a red flag for me if you had a lot of like issues. So I liked about you that you were like very close with your parents, close with your sisters, close with, you know, you still have your same best friend from middle school. So, and pretty much all your friends, like all your friends are still friends with you for the most part. So that was something that I noticed about you. I don't think I ever told you that, but
no,
that is
I'm
something
like,
that I noticed.
I'm definitely like, whoa, sheesh. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't know any of these things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing to look at, because I definitely think sometimes like the people that are around a person can kind of give some light to how that person may, act. Kind of like birds of a feather flock together. Not that it necessarily is true all the time, because there's always going to be some things that are a little bit different, in your social circle. So I definitely see that is a great green flag. And I noticed that as far as like the people that were around you, that they were very positive and upbeat. Like you didn't really have any negative people around you. So anytime that I walked into the room, I felt like I was like welcome, and it was like, hi boo, like you're new, but hey, give me a hug. Like I'm a hugger. So yeah, your family is huggers. But I definitely realized like that was a green flag as far as like bringing in another community, because I wasn't just having my family anymore. It was your family and mine now. So I met, all these new people. So it was interesting to see like where you came from, your background and stuff like that.
I agree. It's cute. So I would say another green flag is someone who knows where they're headed in life, or at least have a sense of direction. I know we're all young and plans change, and but I think if someone at least has a sense of purpose or a sense of direction, then that to me is a green flag, because that lets me know that you are in touch with yourself, you're ambitious, you're motivated, you see something greater than yourself. Because I'm very much so purpose driven. I believe everyone has a purpose. So if someone else shows or believes that they have a purpose, then that aligns with me, as opposed to like someone who doesn't know where they're going. Someone's like, oh yeah, I have this business, or even if they're working a job, like I work this job, I plan on moving up in a couple of years. After I do that, I'm gonna go back to school to move up to the next level. At least someone who has, like I said, a sense of direction. They have at least an idea of where they're going. That's a green flag for me.
So you want to see those stepping stones for the large picture, like those small things that may create the larger picture, like where you're going towards the end.
Yeah, because I'm very ambitious and I believe in creating generational wealth. So that's not going to come from a job, at least not for me. So to have someone else that has a like mind as far as like wanting to build something to leave behind for our kids and our grandkids, as opposed to someone who's just working the 9 to 5 and they don't know what's next. I don't want to have to be the one that's like leading us. I want us to walk together, hand in hand as far as where we're going.
And see, I think that's another green flag for me as far as like when it comes to like leading and stuff like that. I feel like a green flag for me was, can you lead a conversation? Like, can you intellectually, stimulate me? That was definitely a green flag for me, because I feel like it's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's super important. The attention that you give somebody and your responsiveness,
you're good.
Your responsiveness to it, sets the scale of how interested you are in that person. I feel like if there's times that I text you and, it takes days to text me back, I'm not even saying hours, but, I text you back a week later, like, I don't think you're that interested. I do feel like in the day and age that we are in now, where we have these computers, we have, cell phones, we have libraries, like it's so many different ways to get in contact with somebody. And even if you could just do a real quick, send an audio message, hey, beautiful, good morning. I can't wait to see you again. Hope we can link up soon. Something quick. I feel like that shows that you're actually attentive to the relationship and that you're responsive. You're actively wanting that. And I feel like that's a great thing, because it shows that you can, lead a conversation, that you can keep, keep that fire burning, basically.
Right. So you also need consistency.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Because if you're inconsistent, if you're a person that's inconsistent, it's just really not going to work. Because I feel like in a relationship, you do need that consistency there to show that you're consistently going to put in that 100% to that person. I don't think that I think a relationship, goes over different bounds. It's not just, what I can do for you mentally or what I can provide or if I look nice today.
Right.
It's about, I am, feeding into your mental, your spiritual, your physical, your like everything that is about you. I'm feeding into that because as a person that knows that you gotta basically give that energy over to someone, and maybe that person may not be able to give you that 100 that day, but you could fill in for them and push them forward. So I feel like that's a green flag.
So at least the effort.
Yes, most definitely, because the effort and consistency for sure gotta be there. Like, show me that you want this just as much as I do, because I shouldn't feel like I shouldn't wonder actually. I shouldn't feel like, where are we in our relationship?
Right.
Like, where do I fit in? Are you talking to somebody else, or like these things need to be communicated? So I feel like with a clear communication of all these things, I feel like that basically builds the relationship and shows that you're in it for the right reasons.
Right. I get that. I agree with you there, because you don't want to feel like you're wasting your time. So if someone is actively showing you on a daily basis that they're involving you in their life, or at least making an attempt to, then I definitely see that as a green flag too. Because I was like that with you. I would like tell you pretty much my whole day.
Yeah.
And if I was busy, I'll tell you in advance. Like, okay, I was in college at the time, so I was like, okay, babe, I have 2 finals back to back today. I'm probably not gonna talk to you again until 6. Or I'm working today. I don't get off until whatever. I can't have my phone. Even though I wasn't able to be there like 24/7, I still let you know. Like, I still prepared you for my absence.
Exactly. I remember, you have to give a little chase, I guess, but
that too.
I remember when you told me, you were like, I think we had spent like a couple of days back to back together. It was probably almost a week, and you're like, no, I'm not coming over next week for 3 days because you're going to have to miss me. Yeah. And I was like, what?
Because it was getting too hot too soon. I was like, I'm coming over here every day. How do I know she missed me for real?
I did.
I had to see. Okay. The only way to see is time. Time apart.
You think I proved it a little bit?
Yeah.
I missed you. I did.
She said, I missed you.
Yeah, she left me for 3 whole days. Yeah. 72 hours.
Yeah. That's some free game for y'all. You don't want to be too in their face. In the beginning. Like, don't take this advice on month 2 or 3. Like, in the beginning, you don't want to be, well, at least I didn't want to be there like every single day.
Right.
I would talk to you every day, but I did want to make time where, like I said, I would create the space for us to miss each other. I would create the space for us to be like, okay, I haven't seen you in a minute. Like, we're about to see each other tonight, or today. What you do? I don't care if you've been working all day. Come watch a movie or something,
Right. I feel that. I think another one of my green flags was ease with us.
That's true.
I feel like a lot of relationships, some can be shown like as toxic, and they'll make it like, oh, but they love each other. Like, I feel like there's a lot of movies that show like there's some stuff going on, but they'll like do all this, and then instead of actually showing like an actual working relationship and stuff. And sometimes I feel like relationships can just go in with ease. I definitely feel 100% that with you it was easy. Like, it was so, we were like just so basically on the same page. But I do think it's funny because you did ask me earlier if I was looking for a wife dating. So I was wondering, as far as like, what were you looking for when we started dating? Because I know we kind of said the similar thing, because I think I said something to the effect of like, I'm trying to see, where things head. And if, it goes there, it goes there.
Well, I have to be honest.
Okay.
And I already told you. You already know this. But I was just looking to make someone jealous when I went. Because we met on a dating app. So I was just making somebody jealous by creating the app. I wasn't supposed to find anything serious. I definitely wasn't looking to get married. I was only 22. So that it was literally just to make somebody jealous. But I mean,
I guess we'll tell that story at another time. That's a whole different video.
Right, whole nother video. But yeah, so I definitely think it was just easy, especially because I wasn't looking for anything. I was just on the app. So the fact that I found you and it was like you said, very easy. Mm-hmm. Everything came naturally. It was just, I never felt awkwardness around you. I never felt uncomfortable around you. Even in the beginning, you know, I did feel like nervous to eat in front of you. Like it took me like a long time to eat in front of you. I think until we like moved in together.
Yes.
But besides
I was bamboozled.
Yeah, I made it seem like I didn't eat that much.
Yeah. Be like, hungry? I'm like, are you hungry? No. Like, knowing how much you eat now, like, you was hungry.
Or sometimes I ate before.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
She's like forward thinking.
Exactly. You gotta play chess out here. But yeah, so I think another one for me is like, and this is just from my personal experience because I used to be so absorbed with work and school. Like I used to at one point I was taking like 18 units and I worked 3 jobs all at the same time. So I never had fun. I never made space for fun. I never made space for anything that wasn't so serious and focused on my future. So when people would ask me like, what do you do for fun? I did not know. You know, I had to, I don't know, going to the beach and, you know, going out to eat, like the cliche things, because I genuinely didn't know how to have fun. I was just so focused on like building a future that I let fun kind of escape. So now that I'm, you know, more self-aware, if I were in a dating world, a green flag for me would be someone who, if I ask you what you do for fun, you could just tell me right off the bat. You know, you could tell me, you could show me some pictures, you can have some actual memories to share, because I was being pretty like evasive, I guess, when it came to my answers, because it was just like, oh yeah, going to the beach. But that was just something I did to relax myself. Like, what did I do for fun? You know, I said, I didn't have anything to fill in the blanks there. So I would want someone who is capable of having fun. Mm-hmm. And you like the opposite, the complete opposite of that, because you have all these extreme adventures on your list and you know exactly what you want to do for fun. If I ask you, what do you do for fun? You're going to send me a list. Like,
yes.
So I needed that, you know, someone who is focused. You are very focused and you are future driven, but also you know how to balance that and you know how to have fun. And I'm sure that's attributed to your Libra scales. Everything has to be in balance.
It does, or it just feels so out of whack. Like if one thing is too much, like work is too much, and my fun meter is low, I start noticing. Yeah, my fun meter is low. I start feeling, you know, at some point like, shoot, it's literally your body, like, you know, almost like at a mediocre feeling, like you feel almost like sad a little bit. But I think when you add these fun things, events, and social things to your life, you know, it doesn't do anything but build you up. Mm-hmm. You get new experiences, you get to talk about these things, and you know, I'm super excited to be doing those adventures with you. It's really funny that you thought, like, I remember you just told me, like, I thought I was adventurous. And then I met you.
I don't even know what my concept of adventure was, because after meeting you, I'm like, I'm definitely not that adventurous. I don't know why I thought I was.
See, like my parents have always been telling me like I've been a little daredevil, little adrenaline junkie since I've started. I remember, you know, riding on jet skis when I was 5, and they was doing donuts and we was racing and splashing each other, doing camping and hikes. And as far as like adventures that I want to do, I hope that you guys really tune in, because I have a ton of things on my list that, you know, adventures that we'll be doing, and it's very interesting to see everything that we'll be doing, because I think there's not a lot of people like us out there doing those things. So I want to get people like more out there and trying these, you know, extreme adventures. They may be extreme, but, you know, I think there's something on the other side of it to gain, something that you'll never forget. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, I will never forget our zip lining or our shark cage diving or anything like that.
That one was just okay. Zip lining was amazing.
Yeah, you did great. You know what? She tries to say all this stuff, but the instructor literally said she's never seen anybody zip line as good as her. She did this little Spider-Man, Batman thing. She was upside down. I was like, she was the only person that was able to do it in the whole group that we had. But so that just,
yay me.
Yeah, you. And that shows, like, you know, you're down to have fun. And that's another green flag when people are able to, be in those situations that they may not really be that comfortable in, but they're doing it for you. Like, that's not something that you would normally do. You said you was basically fine without zip lining and shark. You didn't need that on your, under your belt to say that you did, but you did it for me. And I think that that's a green flag. That's something that somebody can really show you that they're really into you because they're taking things that you like and actually going out to go do them with you.
Yeah.
So, you might or you might have me go to a hike more so than you might have me go to the mall and, I don't know, pick out makeup or something like that. But I like how you involve my interest into, our world so we can do them together.
Yeah, because all those things, like you said, I would be good without. I would live a full and complete life without skydiving, and I'll be happy.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, you guys. I have a long list. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so awesome.
I'm scared. I'll just be honest. Some of the things make me nervous.
Just a little bit, but we'll definitely, take in what the information is. If it's too much, I'm still probably gonna do it. But
I'm like, I don't know why you friend like you gonna reconsider. You're not gonna reconsider.
There's only one thing that you told me I can't do, but
that's bungee jumping.
Yeah,
I told her she can't bungee jump. I can't bungee jump. Nobody we know.
But she added a new one to the list, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But going back to, green flags, do you feel as though there are any red flags that you should be aware of?
Yeah, I think in general, like, I'm gonna just say this. I definitely think you should run when someone shows you a red flag early on. That's always what I did. I never stuck around to get like 2 or 3 flags. And the biggest flag that I saw from people was that they lie. And I feel like if you're going to lie early on to someone that you barely even know, you'll definitely lie to somebody when it's something bigger on the line, like your relationship or, the history that you have with this person, or even if there's children involved. I feel like if you're going to lie to someone that you just met about something so small that doesn't even require a lie, not saying things require a lie, but if it's something like just unnecessary, I feel like that is a huge red flag for me, because I feel like you'll just lie your way out of anything. Honesty is very important for me. I always keep it 100, even if it's uncomfortable. So I do expect that from whoever I'm dating, especially like, well, not even especially, I was about to say especially in the beginning, but no, throughout the entire relationship, I do expect honesty. So if someone shows me that they're like inconsistent with being honest, then that's a red flag, and I would leave for that reason.
Yeah, it definitely should be a red flag because, I mean, a lie could be a little lie or a big lie or, whatever it is. You don't even know what the lie is about. So at what part do you determine what is actually fact and what is true? So I think that's one of those things where people are like showing what they think they ought to show versus actually truly who they are. You shouldn't really be lying about anything,
especially at our age.
Yeah, exactly. It's you much rather tell the truth, get it out there, actually get in front of it, so then you can like say, I'm telling you the truth. This is what it is. I'm being open. I'm being honest, and it may suck. I think one of the things that people, when you lie, you're taking that person's ability to choose away. Because now, since I have told you a lie, you're going off of the information that I told you, so you're trusting in that. But if I said anything else, I'm not giving you that opportunity to change your mind off of what the truth actually is.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a disservice to your partner, most definitely. I think one of my main red flags, but it's more so a saying is like, believe what people tell you what they are, believe them what they say.
Right.
Because basically one of my red flags for quite a few, I've heard it plenty of times, is like, I need someone who can handle my attitude and put me in my place. Like, whenever I would hear that, I'm telling you, I'm a track star. I'm about to book it and run. Like, that's a red flag that would immediately stop a relationship for me, because I feel like at that point you're telling me you're just painting out that forecasted picture of what you're gonna actually act like, and I don't have time for that. Like, that was one of my flags, because I was looking for a woman that knows how to handle and control herself. Like, I don't want to deal with I don't want to deal with as far as like an attitude, as far as I'm thinking like, oh, I gotta do this so she doesn't get an attitude, and then I gotta put her in her place. Like, it's too much, and at that point, the relationship kind of gets a little wonky for me. And I know there's probably people that love that. It's like, oh yeah, I would love to put but no, I'm a runner, I'm a track star on that one, because I can't deal with it. It's just, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe that leopard has spots. Believe that tiger has stripes. Like, believe the cheetah is the fastest, running animal. Like, believe what somebody is actually telling you. When they're telling you these things, is because they know that it's going to come out. They know that it's going to see that you're going to see. So I think it's just like a little red flag, just to show you, to see how, like, well, I already told you that's how I am.
Right.
So I feel like that's something to run away from.
Yeah. So you would say a green flag is emotional maturity.
Yes, most definitely.
Someone who knows how to stay in control of their emotions, calm themselves back down when needed, stay level-headed.
And like, I don't feel like you should need me to do those things for you, because how do you react when I'm not there? Like, because there's no point that I'm going to be able to be with you like every split second of the day. So, if those things occur, like, how do I know how you're going to, behave, or, do at a dinner meeting? Or it may be, just going out to the mall or something simple. If you already catch these kind of attitudes quickly, you have that type of temperament, then I really wasn't really interested in going any further, because I feel like you're warning me at this point. And I'm going to take that warning. I'm not one of those people that be like, they'll sign be like, do not pass, cliff steep, hazard, may fall. Like,
Turn around.
Yeah, I'm not about to do that.
Right.
Like, there's definitely signs there for a reason with some stuff. And that's not one of those things you pass.
Okay. I can agree with that. So I guess for me, another red flag would be like, if someone, say you're on a date with someone, and you know how people just be on their phone the whole time? That's a red flag for me. Not because I feel like, well, I do feel like you're not involved in whoever you're on a date with, but I feel like it's an addiction at that point. I feel like the person can't put their phone down. So for me, that would be like, I feel like you'll always be in competition with that phone. When we go on to the movies, you got your phone out. When we on a date, when we just chilling, I feel like if someone can't put their phone down for a few seconds for you, then I feel like that might be a little something deeper than, yourself. So I guess to flip it, the green flag for me would be attentiveness. Someone who understands, like, this is our time. I want to give you my undivided attention. Because who knows when I'm gonna see you again. We have to, after this day, we have to plan the next date, schedule it. So it's gonna be some time in between. So now that I have you right here in front of me, I want to spend all this time with you and focus on you. So that is something that I do look for. Seeing, like, how do you interact? How do you basically show up? Because it's one thing to physically show up, but are you mentally there? Are you mentally present? Are you emotionally available? So that's something that's big for me, is how you show up.
That's beautiful. I like that. You gotta show up daily and show up, more than just your body. Like, are you mentally there? How are you supporting this person? I like that. I think one of my red flags would be only seeing you at night.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I don't like that.
Yeah, there's like some people that would like try to like treat you like a night rider. And what I mean by a night rider is somebody that you literally only see them between like the hours of 8 versus and probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, like during those hours where you should be sleeping that. But I feel like when you just hang out with somebody just at those times, I think, not necessarily that you should run away, but you should like, pique a little interest in it, why we can't hang out, why we can't hang out in the morning, why we can't have, breakfast, or brunch.
Right.
We only hanging out on Monday. We can't hang out on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like, so I feel like those things are something to look for, because I think sometimes people can like hide ulterior motives because they're utilizing like, oh, I'm too busy. I can only see you during this amount of time on this day, on this this specific day of the week. So I feel like that is a red flag. Not necessarily something to run from, but something to like keep your eye on. Yeah.
So since you say that, how many red flags do you think is enough
to run? I would say one red flag is enough to run. However, it depends on what the flag is, because I do think some flags require like a little bit of an alert situation, almost like a yield sign. But others are like, no, I'm completely out. Yeah. So I feel like you have to discern what is a red flag versus what's a deal breaker for you. Like, what is like that thing that's going to make you, no matter what that person is, how they treated you, how they show, whatever it is, if they do this thing, then you're out. I do think it's healthy to have deal breakers and, those clear boundaries about what kind of relationship you want or what you'll accept as far as like what goes on in the relationship. Yeah.
I like that. Since you brought up the word boundaries, we should make another video as far as like boundaries, how to establish them. I think that will be helpful because it wasn't too big in our marriage, but it was something that, we did have to work through to, this is what I like, this is what you like, so I think that would be helpful. So just as a side note, if y'all want to hear a video about boundaries, drop it in the comments.
Yeah. Well, we can definitely talk about some boundaries and some changes that, we had to incorporate in our relationship, what made it successful. And I think that brings on that question, like, what do you feel are some of the things that we do currently right now that grow our relationship, that show that we're supporting to keep this relationship not only, not something that's stagnant, but something that is elevating.
Well, I think at this point, we're so married that we're together 24/7. So that, I think that just naturally grows our bond because we work together. So it's not like you have to leave for 8 hours and come back and then I'm gone. We have a lot of, pretty much our whole day we spend together. So I think just those random moments, those random funny things, or a situation arises and now we have to, sometimes we'll just be chilling and then one of our vendors or something will hit us up and we have to like just skedaddle real quick. So seeing just us working together and living together, and I just feel like actually enjoying each other's company, it just makes us grow even deeper than we already were. But I kind of feel like we already are like as deep as we could get. I don't know. I can't really picture how much deeper, but I'm sure like 10 years from now, I'm gonna be like, oh, even that was nothing. So yeah, but I definitely think that like, staying in communication with one another is helpful because you don't want, especially if you're building something, like you said, trying to look for a marriage, if you're building a solid foundation, you don't want to create any space for that other person to think anything or, you don't want them to have any sort of doubts. So for me personally, that was like I said, including you and everything. Even if I'm busy, I'm going to let you know. Even if I'm going to visit my mom for the weekend, I won't be around, I'm still going to let you know. And that's still like that to this day. Like sometimes we have to separate because I have to take care of something, you have to take care of something else. And like, you let me know. So just that aspect of just, I'm so like, we're so immersed in each other's lives. It's like, I just feel like that just inevitably makes us grow stronger every day.
I can definitely see that. I would say one of the things that keeps us growing is that not only do we enjoy being around each other, like still we actively ask each other on dates. You know, like I like you want to go on a date with me, and I'll just go out and take you to dinner, and we'll go, to the beach or the park, or we'll do something that both of us would like to do. So I think that's something definitely that should be incorporated into relationships. Still dating each other after you guys have said the I do's, after you guys have said yes to being girlfriends and or boyfriends or whatever it is, yes to the commitment and I do during the marriage, and keep showing that commitment that it is an I do every day.
Yeah.
I can personally say that like how we've grown is a beautiful thing and something that I haven't had with anybody else before. It's like finding my true soulmate and knowing that you were the one and having that safe space created for us to have that relationship. Like I've known like plenty of my friends that was like y'all actually like in love with each other, like, oh, I want that, like, how do you know? And it's something that is just truly magnetic. It's something that you just feel it. And I know it's cliche because I feel like everybody says like you just know, but it's true. You do just know. It was something different about you that when you came into my life, it was like, wow, like this woman this is it. Like she the one.
And that's a green flag too if someone makes you feel that.
Yeah.
Because I knew, well, I didn't know we were going to get married, but I knew that, I guess you can say I knew you were the one from the jump. Like I felt very like connected already. I felt very familiar from the beginning. I didn't really have to like go through that period of the relationships where you have to build, trust and build confidence. It just felt like I came in knowing you were a safe space. I already felt like connected with you because like you said, we are soulmates. So I do believe that we were together in previous past lives. So the fact that I saw you in this life, that felt very familiar to my soul. It didn't feel like this is something new. It felt like, where you been? Like what took you so long type of thing. So I feel like that's a major green flag if somebody makes you feel like that. Make you feel like off top you feel safe. Automatically you feel connected, We didn't have to, I would say we didn't have to build that. It just kind of came with it.
Yeah, it came with the territory for sure. And being upfront and honest about things that I remember like there's some questions that you asked on the first date, like as far as like, am I talking to anybody else, and seeing it what I say is or what the answer is, and seeing if I'll tell the truth. And I think all those things, show that we were actually there for the right reasons for each other. And I remember like looking at you and I was like, does this feel like, and we say at the same time, like space? Like it was so, mesmerizing, something totally different than what I felt before or, I've ever felt. So when somebody can make you feel that way, I do think that you should pay attention to it because there's something there. It's most definitely because you also felt familiar. Like I know I have seen you in my dreams before. So yeah, that was a green flag too.
Right, that was a major green flag. The fact that we, like we said, just felt already connected. Yeah, I remember like that was a major green flag for me when I asked you if you were talking to somebody because I always ask that just so I can know like what environment I'm stepping into. It's never like if you say yes, I'm gonna leave. It's more so if you say yes, then I know how to move. And most of the people pretty much everybody except you, when I ask them like, are you talking to someone? They will say no. And I'll be like, okay, we exchange Instagrams or whatever. And then I find out that's not true. And that's when I will leave, because you already lied to me, and if you lying to me, you're going to lie to the next person you meet too. So when I asked you that and he was like, kinda, yeah. He was like, yeah, but it's nothing serious. So I'm like, thank you. Like, finally, someone's honest. Like, yes.
It's definitely better just to be honest because, like I said earlier, like I want to give you the choice about what's going on right now. Luckily, I feel like you were mature in that situation because you realized like you weren't here, like you're
Yeah.
just arriving.
Right.
I don't think you were expecting me to like just not have like any dating history whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that respect, as much as I told her the truth, she made it comfortable for me to tell the truth.
Right.
Also,
'Cause I could have like went off. I could have been
exactly.
like just blown up at you, but I
Like,
didn't. I was just like, thank you for letting me know.
yeah, because honesty is the best policy for sure.
Yeah.
Even if you're talking to somebody, just give the other person a choice. You don't know
Yeah.
what they're gonna say. And I always feel like it's better to go with that one because if you just lie, you just don't have to keep lying in it. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna create another lie. It's just gonna spiral. I would rather tell you the truth and be upfront and move on in our relationship with on this platform than that.
Yeah. I agree. So that was cute being you telling me like, yeah. Because you could have like you was risking like losing me, even though you found someone that you deemed as like, this could be my wife, you still was like, I'm gonna be honest, and she might leave me, because a lot of people would leave for that reason. I do believe, like, oh, if you're talking to someone else, I do think a lot of people that's a deal breaker for them. But the fact that that was very selfless of you to, because you could have just tried to manipulate me and say no, I'm not dating nobody else, but you was like, I'm gonna give you the choice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I chose to stay.
And I'm happy you did. So if you could sum it up for, our viewers, what would you say are the top green flags?
For me, it's about how they make you feel. I think that's the biggest one because we all have intuition and we all can read energy. So if you get a vibe that someone is like sketch or they're weird or if you just get a negative vibe, I would say just go with that. You don't even need any reason to not. But if you feel like this person has potential, this person is showing interest, constant interest, not just one day out of the week, if they're actively showing you that they genuinely want to get to know you, that's big because there's like a lot of, I guess, different levels to it too, because sometimes you could just ask people like, oh, what's your favorite color? What do you like to do for fun? But if the person is genuinely asking like, no, where did you grow up? What are some of your passions? Tell me something about your past that no one knows. Like if they're actually trying to discover who you are as a person, I feel like that's a huge red flag because that means they're genuinely interested in
Green.
you. What I say? Red? Oh, that's a huge green flag. My bad. That's a huge green flag because it shows that they're actually invested in the person that you are.
Yeah.
So honesty, communication, I would say trust, and just really giving the person the choice to choose to be with you instead of trying to like manipulate them. So yeah, green flags for me is trust, attentiveness, support. If they're like great problem solvers, that's a green flag for me. If they handle conflict calmly, that's a green flag for me. If they're very connected with their friends and family, that's a green flag for me. If they're very connected to God, that's like the most green flag for me personally, just because I'm so rooted in God that if the other person is too, then that we align in that space. So that's a green flag for me. Yeah, and respect too. Really that's a really big one. The person, and that covers a broad range of things. They have to respect your mind, your energy, your time, your effort, just you as a person. So yeah, that those are some really big things for me. Oh, like how we said too, if the person wants to like do things that are more for you than themselves, because that shows that they are actually willing to, be involved in your actual journey and not trying to make your journey their journey, or what I'm saying, make their journey your journey. Because sometimes people it's all like me, 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 me. So if they start to say like, no, what do you like or what do you want to do? Like, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, they're paying attention. They're truly paying attention to you as a whole person.
And patience is a green flag for me too, because I believe I'm a very patient person.
You are.
I'm very patient, so patience is like a huge thing for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You're very patient. That patience has been extended this way a few times. So, yeah, I think all those flags that you were pretty much talking about is stuff that you guys should be looking for. And it may sound like, obvious, or it may be that some things that you guys haven't thought about before, but take it slow and really feel out a person. Really feel if they make you feel these things. If they make you feel these things, these are flags that, just as much as people say that there's red flags, run away, there are green flags that you should be running toward. There are things that, if you put a little water on them, they'll grow miraculously. Like, there's so many things that as a person that you can be, that you can show somebody you and who you are as a person and give them that kind of person.
Right.
So I think when you're healthy and healed in yourself, you know what you want, you have your preferences and everything like that. When you move, you'll move differently when you're dating somebody, because you're actively looking for something specific. So I think it puts it in your head as far as like what flags you should actually be looking for.
And remember, you guys don't have to settle for any red flags. Okay, no. I didn't. Every first red flag I see, I would run, and it led me straight to my soulmate, where she didn't have any flags. You didn't really have any flags at all. So I do believe that staying solid on your boundaries and staying solid on what you want will pay off. Even if you feel like you're lonely or you have to settle, like, you don't have to. Your soulmate is out there. Just continue to stay the course. So if someone shows you something that you don't believe your soulmate will do, just cut it off right there.
Right. And I think that's a great way to end it.
Okay. Well,
we hope that you guys enjoyed this talk, this discussion. We'll be coming up with a lot more, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell if you want to be alerted to when we upload a new video, because we'll be making sure that we're consistent, and we want you guys along this journey. So I hope that you guys stay tuned so you can see everything that we have planned.
Right.
So as we like to say, see the light in each other, be the light for each other.
Nucka nucka.
Nucka nucka.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.